Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to some more Mystical Block. We've got some base updates and things to go over in this episode. So let's just switch back here. I'm going to be doing a different style of Skyblock build this time around, but what I've done here is started on a little bit of a nature area. And in here I've built a mob farm because there's a few things that are kind of still locked, even with getting pretty deep into mystical agriculture. The first being ender pearls. So I was looking to make a few things that required ender pearls. So something like the feeding upgrade for my backpack will need an ender pearl. The refill upgrade, which is going to make expanding my base a lot easier, because this will pull items from my backpack into my slot when it into the appropriate slot when it runs out. So I'll just go in here and show you. And I've also made the stack upgrade, so each slot in my backpack can now carry up to 256, so I can carry mounds and mounds of dirt or slabs depending on what I want to build. And I'm going through diamond wands like they're pretty much candy these days, because we've got diamonds on diamond seeds, right? So not a problem there. So the no power yet either. So the mob grinding utilities was the mod I looked into using to get things going in here. I've got the working areas of my fans shown just so I can show you the setup that we've got here. So I've got two fans to blow the mobs back into the corner where we've got a mob masher. So we'll go over the crafting of these real quickly. It's quite quite iron intensive, because you need a lot of swords and lots of blocks of iron. Once again, the style of pack that we're in, none of this stuff is really hard. It's just doing it, right? So iron spikes, these each take 3 iron swords. More iron swords here. Then the mob masher itself takes these upgrades. So a looting upgrade, which was just basically lapis, because blue dye comes from lapis, redstone, gold ingot or gold nuggets. Then a lot more iron swords in here, because the sharpness upgrades you can put up to 10 in there. So we've got 10 sharpness upgrades, 10 looting upgrades, and that will pretty much help us get all the way there. As for a sorting system, I don't have much right now. Just have hoppers up there. Just note that the mob masher does require a redstone signal. So originally I had this sitting on top of the redstone block that I have there, but that locked all of these hoppers, and then things weren't flowing through down to the colossal chest. I just made a 2x2 colossal chest, and we needed this chest interface for the hopper to go down in it. So just that hopper into this, and then this hopper here goes down into the chest there. And then these mob fans, you do need 1 width upgrade to get them up to the 3 wide, but then from there, then it'll just cover this whole area nicely. We've got room in here for the Enderman. And I originally had, and yeah, so these fans require a redstone signal as well. I'm just using levers for those. So we'll flip everything back on there. And then I've got the, because when I was expanding out this all out, I grabbed some mega torches from the Torchmaster. Just a couple of blocks of gold, a couple of diamonds, nothing too special there. These are just regular logs. Doesn't need the Tinker's versions there. And a little area down here. So just built a 2x2 colossal chest, just 1 core, 1 interface, so that we can insert items into it. And then a couple of other chest walls, and it's fairly large. It's nothing spectacular. Once we start getting lots of bows and things like that, it'll get messy in there, but we should have a sorting system all set up before too long there. So I did have a few torches kicking around this area, which I do have to put down a couple more, I think, because this is 116 again, so it doesn't have the 118 spawning mechanics, but just had a spider or two spawn outside of the mob farm on me, so I did that. And then starting of a little bit of a hill there, and it's kind of all built into that to make it look natural. So that's kind of the build style I'll be going here. Don't really need these huge plots of land once we get power going, because we have these power pots going. So instead of just having a regular botany pot with our hopping upgrade in it, we've got this attached to power. I detached it for right now because I was building the armor you saw I had on there initially. So we went with the mystical agriculture armor, and I've gotten it up to the supreme level at this point right now. So we'll just go over the recipes. It's all nested crafting. So we're going to need to make a ton of these gemstones, which does require a ton of double compressed cobbles. So there was quite a bit of farming of stone essence to get all that cobblestone, which we just put into there. And then I watched Gaming on Caffeine's episode, and shout out to him. I'll put a link down below. And I had looked into the Project E crafting, but it was locked, like getting the Philosopher's Stone and the Transmutation Tablet were all locked behind Nether Stars and the Twilight Forest. Twilight Forest is not hard. Well, it's hard to a degree, but it's not too hard to get there in itself. But Withers in a skyblock is a little bit different story, so I'll have to figure out how to do those. But there was this energy condenser that we can craft, and the recipe on it is not too bad at all. So just take some obsidian, which we went over earlier, diamond blocks, which are easy now, alchemical chests, which just needed this covalence dust. That's all pretty straightforward in itself too, right? So nothing too fancy there. And what this can do for us, if we have some EMC in the system, and I'm just going to pull out all this dirt and throw it into my backpack quite quick. Oh yeah, and a crafting upgrade I put into my backpack so I can just craft on the go wherever I am. But basically, if we just put an item that has EMC and we throw it into this slot there, then whatever EMC we have stored in the chest itself, so that started using up some of this dirt to produce some spruce saplings. What I did for there was grew up a bunch of diamonds, and then I found out that the emeralds actually have much higher EMC value. So the EMC on one block of emerald is 147k, whereas a block of diamond is half of that, right? 7328. So it's a lot better to go for blocks of emeralds. So I was using this plot to make diamonds to make EMC, but then went over to that, and that's how I got all of the dirt quickly. And the slabs don't have EMC, but they're pretty easy to make. We just grab a bunch of logs and throw it into our backpack, and then with the crafting upgrade, I can craft the slabs on the go there. Take a stack of diamonds, and you've got wood on us to be able to remake the diamond wands, because as we expand out that platform, it just takes more and more durability off of those wands right quick too. So yeah, moving forward there, we've got ways to generate EMC, and then to get to the Supremium armor, we obviously needed a lot of the Inferium. So I made all, the first thing I did was made all this plot into the Supremium version. So before, when it was just Inferium, we were getting like maybe a stack and 16 or so Inferium per harvest, and now we're getting 3 stacks every time we refresh this. And that's why I had to kind of unhook up my botany pot, because these extra utilities solar panels don't give enough power to really grow the Mark 1 power pot very fast. So I just unhooked it because it was a lot quicker to just manually do all the harvesting and throwing it into the crafter, which, you know, when you've got 60, 70 stacks of Inferium because we can throw it all easily into the backpack while we're over there and then come over and do it all in one. It's pretty quick to drain all of the power out of it, doing all of that crafting. So the one other thing that I wanted to, or when I was going through there, was I thought this restock upgrade was the refill upgrade, so I got into making that first, and that required a slime ball in the sticky piston. Now the slime balls are a little bit tricky to get to for now anyways. Ectoplasm from Atom, or casting it out from here, which required slime balls to begin with, but then I saw that there's the coagulated blood. And coagulated blood is really easy because all we have to do is jump into here. And it will, as it damages us, it puts blood into the smeltery there. Just have to kind of be, oh, I know what's happening. There, do that, and that'll get more blood in there a little bit quicker. And we can see in there we've got 3 more slime balls worth. You just pour them out onto an empty casting table, and then it'll go coalesce into a coagulated blood, which acts as a slime ball for you. So if you need slime, that's a one way to do it for now. Yeah, moving forward, we're going to have to start working on getting power. So there was in the book here, before the update, there was a quest line over, I think it extended up through here for all of the solar panels. It's now tucked into the energy production line here. So going up this chain for the solar panels, they're not too bad actually when we get up there. And they have EMC, so we can always duplicate them in the energy condenser with other things, so we don't have to do all of this super nested crafting, right? So the solar panel 6 needs 4 solar panel 5s, which needs 4 solar panel 4s, which needs 4 solar panel 3s, and so on and so forth down the line, right? But it's not too bad because you can just, EMC out a bunch of these quickly with the energy condenser. But I think I'm going to go a different route because this is the line that Gaming on Caffeine went. So if you're checking out his episodes, you can see how he did it. He went into the storage system, refined storage first, and set up auto crafting for all of that stuff. Actually, it's not even, so there was a refined storage quest line in the main page here, but that's probably all in this nested down in the Age of Storage. So that's all down in here now. If you wanted to go into refined storage, I will be for sure, just not just yet. I think I wanted to go to the through the Twilight Forest first, because the other thing about the getting up to the Supremium here was all of these gemstones required a ton of prosperity shards as well. In the mining dimension, I theorized that, I'm way down here at Y19 and even lower, like Y6, 7, 8 when I go down in there, but higher might have been better, so I started going up, but I did go too high. So I'll just show you quickly in here as well. I started high and didn't find anything at the first couple of levels that I started off, but then I started finding them at about this level. You won't get some of the higher tier stuff, like I think you can even find draconium ingots if you're down low enough in here, and things like platinum and so on and so forth, but that obviously leaves more space open to find the prosperity shards. So I just dug a tunnel and then came across another cave system, which I went through and found a bunch of prosperity shards that way. But it's also available in the Twilight Forest because you've got a regular overworld system there. So just here at about Y453, so probably maybe even Y55 or 50 itself there is probably the better place to start. If you're looking for prosperity shards to fuel your, making the seeds or getting the armor like I did, so on and so forth. Or go into the Twilight Forest, which we're going to do here. So let me just grab the necessary items and we'll go over getting into, and the tricky part is actually getting out of it, as I saw in the other playthrough that I was watching. So we will need some flowers or saplings, which, oh yeah, I was going to chop down some of those trees and get more saplings that way, but I think I got some flowers in here. 2, 3, 5, 7. Mushroom will work. That's 8. I think that's all I need is 8. We do need 2 buckets of water, but that's fine. I can get that later. We'll need a little bit of dirt. I don't think quite that much, but we'll need some. I'm going to do this fairly close by here. Right here seems fine. We do need a 2x2. I'm just going to stop the water from flowing out too far. That's why I was grabbing that extra dirt. So we need a water. Oh, I forgot to grab a diamond. That's fine. So there we've got 4 water sources there. Then we just need to put down our flowers. Ah, can't put down the mushroom on there. That's not bad at all. I've got another, I've got a sapling or 2 kicking around in here. If not, we could just make it out of the, make an oak sapling out of the essence, right? There, we've got one of those. That's fine. Let's put this back down there. Don't need wheat seeds on me. Oh, there's all the spruce saplings I was thinking about. Let's see, if I need the other ones, then I'll just take them with me now. Put that on, because it can't hurt, and the diamond. So yeah, once we've got the 2x2 water sources, 8 flowers around, throw in a diamond, and that will create the portal. We just go that, and we will whisk off into the Twilight Forest. Oh, right. That was lucky and unlucky. We landed in a boss arena. And then I came back through, and I actually came back to my portal here. Watching Gaming on Caffeine's playthrough, he landed like, I don't know, 150, 200 blocks away and over the void. And luckily he went and he upgraded his Supremium armor to give him flight, so he didn't have a problem. But I didn't do that because I was just going to take blocks, because to get the flight upgrade you actually need the nether stars as well. There we go. So catastrophe averted, and then we will quickly do that so that I know where I'm going if I need to come back. Yeah, it should have lots of garbage here to pick up. So, Twilight Forest, yeah, the first boss that we need to kill is this Naga guy, actually. So that was fortuitous in itself. And he's inside this little arena. And I wonder how dark this is for you guys. It's not too bad for me, but maybe the night vision. I'll take a look at the recording and see how bad it is there, but maybe we'll come back here and do this a little bit later, but you can see we at least do have regular overworld here. And there will be some little bits of caves that you can dip into. And I saw that there was lots of prosperity ore in and around there, so let me just throw this on a quick pause, and when I find a cave, we'll bring you back and see what we find. Oh, here we go. There's not much of one. It took a little bit of wandering around, but oh, there's some osmium, torchberries. We need these. So that's one of the main reasons you want to find a little underground area ASAP. Some bunch of osmium there, so I guess it can't hurt to grab that, because the osmium is the one thing that, oh, it does have a EMC. I thought it didn't because it came off as the ore instead of the ore chunks, like, right? Because this copper, if you break the copper, then you get the ore chunks, right? Same with the iron and so on and so forth. If you've been playing, you know that already. But yeah, first things first, when you get into the Twilight Forest, you want to make a map. So we need a magic map. The blank magic map. Oh, who's that? Oh, just a little kobold. These guys aren't too dangerous. If you're in iron armor, they'll do some damage to you, but we're on slightly better than iron armor, so nothing much to worry about there. You'll run into them in and around Hollow Hills, which this doesn't seem like it is, but maybe it is. Anyways, the blank magic map, you need 8 paper and a map focus. The map focus needs a raven feather, a piece of glowstone, and some torch berries. The glowstone you can find through sifting. So if you just sift dust, you'll get glowstone. You might also find it if you do go into a hollow hill. Oh, there was an Enderman over there as well. Let's get him while we're thinking about it. Because my mob farm might take a little bit longer to get ender pearls, but yep, good job, good job. The torchberry that I mentioned earlier for this magic map focus, and then the raven feather. The raven feather can be a little bit tricky because we need to find a specific bird here in the Twilight Forest. They are easy to find if you find an obsidian pillar that's got a piece of lapis at the top, because you'll find 1 or 2 around those structures. But finding that structure can be a little bit strange in itself. So I didn't see one in my initial run around, although I already see the Lich Tower over there, which is the second boss that we're going to be looking to take on in this area. So I don't even really need it to get that Lich Trophy, which is gating us from getting into the Project E, right? But I wanted to go over with all of you how to progress through here. So even up here, and that looks like it's another, yeah. So this is the one where I spawned in, my portal is. There's another Naga arena over here. I already marked the Lich Tower on there. That looks like it's another Lich Tower there. So This map can do a little bit for you. Oh, there's another Lich Tower down there. Interesting. But anyways, I digress. Oh, look, there's a big underground over this way. Yeah, so lots of vanilla mobs will spawn underground here, but this above ground area, even as dark as it is, isn't dark enough to spawn them normally. I think he must have come out of the cave somewhere, because they shouldn't be spawning up here on the surface. Anyways, the hunt for the Raven continues. Let me just throw that on a quick pause and we'll bring you back when I find it. I guess we may as well go over this mechanic as well. So if you come across an area and it's got these particles coming down in front of it, and then you try to go in there, but then you start getting hit with debuffs. So now I have this frosted debuff. Other areas that you could go into would be like the Dark Forest, that'll give you blindness. This is the Snow Queen area. That'll give you the frosted, like I mentioned a second ago. You have to defeat the bosses in a particular order to be able to get there. So use your advancements. It's L by default. And in the Twilight Forest there, it will... Actually, I can't even zoom out here. That's a little bit frustrating. So once we get past the Naga, slaying the Naga, then we move on to the Twilight Lich. Then once we've done the Twilight Lich, then we could go into some of these other areas. So we have to find the Alpha Yeti, the Urghast, the Labyrinth Minotaur. And then there's a underground area where this knight, there's a knight and an underground maze. There's a couple of mazes in here. That's where these other maps come into. So the maze map, blank maze map. If once you get a maze map focus again for those, and you can generate a map for the mazes, which helps you a little bit, but not a lot, because we've got the journey map installed, and that usually works better than the map that you find, than the maze map itself. Although it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. Sometimes it can be handy, sometimes not so great. I'm getting a little bit frustrated at my lack of being able to find a raven here. I even just wanted to point out one of these obelisk towers for y'all so that you know what you're looking for. And we're out here. Kind of makes me wish I had that flight now so that we could just fly around quickly to find it, but no go for now. That is Dark Forest area there. Yeah, I'm getting blanked on this. Super lucky on finding the bosses, but not so lucky on doing it from the beginning. If I was just playing this through this myself, I'd already probably be done with this area, because I would have just run up those stairs, dealt with the Lich, and been on and about my day. But here I am, trying to teach people things. I've already covered this in other series, so if you've already read that, you could probably skip the rest of this episode, but yeah, I'll just find that, get the raven, go back home, grab the dust that I have there. Oh, we found some prosperity ore finally. You can see that there's absolutely tons of it. Some more osmium, because I'm going to be doing mechanism as my first power, and I may as well grab this platinum because that's going to be one of the things that I want to have moving forward. I think I'm going to be, I think the Tinker's tools in Platinum are really good, so I might be going there. There's another torchberry. It can't hurt to have a couple, I guess. And I'm now full of junk, so let's get rid of some of this stuff that we got from the Naga area. Don't need more industrial hemp seeds for now. Don't need these canopy trees. Got 36 prosperity shards out of that one. All right, we'll bring you back in a minute or two. Oh, I just saw one walking around behind here. This is what they look like when they're on the ground. We got up there, we killed him, but no drop. So that's unfortunate, and he's not even close by an obelisk, so I can't even show you what that looks like. But it'll be really obvious for you, because it'll be, you know, it's stacked up fairly tall, like say about this tall here, and has a block of lapis on the top of it too, and that's about a 3x3 size structure. Well, it's more like 2x2, and then one section goes up a little bit taller. That's just one block tall. There's one of the massive trees. I think we saw one of those a few minutes ago, but up on top of those, inside some of these big branch and big clusters of leaves, you can find chests there with some loot. Depending on the pack, it can be pretty decent if your pack is locked down pretty tightly, but they forgot to lock down the Twilight Forest. It's sometimes a good idea to go up there, and you can find stuff that's a real pain in the butt to make in your pack. But here's the obelisk structure that I was talking about. So typically there's a raven or two kicking around these guys here, so run up to him, and no joy on that one either. Anywho, you guys get the idea. I've shown you how to craft it and where to get all the stuff. You kill a couple of ravens, hopefully just one. You get yourself the feather, make yourself the map, and then on the map you can actually, it'll point out where the bosses are. Like obviously you have to uncover it first, but it'll tell you kind of what you're doing. This is the dark forest area. If I go too much in here, I get blindness, because I haven't cleared the lich first. Once we've cleared the lich, then we'll be able to go into those other areas, but for right now, we can't. Oh, there's another obelisk, so let's boot it on over there. Oh, and this is a hollow hill right here. These structures here can be pretty dangerous if you're not geared up fairly well, so just beware of those. They'll spawn some nasty skeleton type. There, we finally got, and we obviously got two. Skeleton druids, they're called. And there's a spawner. You just have to go and break the spawner inside the house. And decent loot, nothing super special. Water bottle, melon seeds, poisonous potato, some food. Yeah, nothing super special in this one, but I was going to show you there's another that's what they usually look like. This one got cut in half for some reason, not sure why. Oh, there's another one there. I'm just going to steer clear of them for now. In fact, because we've got the FTB Ultimine in here, I totally forgot about this, is that we also have the FTB utilities. So if I had set my home, and I actually need feathers, because the feathers don't have these. Oh, they do have EMC. Why didn't the one I got in my overworld have EMC? Oh well, that one has EMC. I can make as many as I want now with my energy condenser. Now we just have to make our way home, which is straight south. So we'll go this way, get back home, grab that glowstone that I had from... Actually, you may as well do the hollow hill while we're here, right? Because I'm pretty sure we can usually get glowstone out of those things. Where was it? Can you see it on here? No. Oh yeah, you can see them on here. Pretty obvious. It's a big hill, and they're hollow. Like the namesake I just said there. And this one looks like, I think this is a medium-sized one, so this one will definitely have glowstone in it. The small ones, not necessarily. But depending on the size of them, they've got some different special enemies in them as well. So now I'll just change my ultimine to a small tunnel. Oh, I didn't want to dig down. Fill that in. And it's below me here, so I still need it to go down a bit. I'm already full, I guess. I guess I've got a backpack, right? Oh yeah, having the crafting grid open makes it a little bit wonky for putting stuff into and out of your backpack, so just so you're aware of that. That was stupid. I didn't realize that it had dug down that far. Got quite lucky to have survived it. But yeah, inside these hollow hills, we can find lots of ores. Oh, more prosperity ore. I will not. Oh, I dug down instead of doing a shapeless. I'm in the middle of it here. Am I too low now? I was too high at first and now I'm too low maybe? Go back to shift I need for a small tunnel. Alright, failing on camera as always. Oh, there it is. And there's that glowstone that I was looking for and needing. Finish healing back up, because there will be all sorts of baddies in here now that I've been wandering around and sticking close to it. Oh yeah, of course. I have the cave spiders. Oh, I'll take a bucket. Don't really need these Twilight Shader grab bags. They're a little bit annoying. did he drop? What is this thing? All right, I'm just going to back off there. All right, here we go. We did finally finish that off. And how close am I to my portal? Doesn't really matter. Unlike the vanilla maps, these don't necessarily center you exactly on where you open the map up at, but we'll just stand here and I will take the item out of my offhand. Oh yeah, I had the crafting grid open. There, so we can look at this a little bit easier. So to the east and to the west were the Naga areas, so you can see what the icon looks like for those guys. To the south, to the north, and to the northwest, we've got the Lich Kings, so we can see what those icons look like there. And those will be the first one. You have to do the Naga, because there will be, if you try to go into one of the towers before you've killed a Naga, you'll get those particles that I was showing you in that other area first, and it won't let you go in there until you've actually killed a Naga. So I wonder if I can make that jump. Nope, that's fine. For now, I'm going to head back. I'm going to unload all of my stuff, and then bring you back next episode, and we will cover the rest of, we'll do the full Twilight Forest thing, not just the, oh yeah, I forgot about growing that tree. And we needed Shapeless if we're going to actually vein mine the tree. Anyways, I appreciate you all for checking it out. Extra long episode for you all. I appreciate you, and we will see you in the next one.